Well, if you visit the spot that we're about to highlight this week for Foodie Friday, you'll most likely be met with a line out the door. Now, Hannah, you and Foodie Photog Mike were lucky enough to skip that line and indulge at Barn 34.
Yeah, Rob, there's a line like that for a very good reason. And if you're a breakfast food fan, this place is your veritable heaven. And the family that keeps it all running smoothly, they really know what it means to keep customers coming back for years to come.
The Lawson family knows Ocean City hospitality. They've been in town for almost 40 years, running favorites like the Pirate's Den and Coconuts, and now Barn 34, home of mouth-watering meals like the Lobster Benedict.
This is one of my favorites. My mom came up with this a couple years ago, and it has been like one of our biggest sellers. 2 poached eggs, 5 ounces of lobster on an English muffin, topped with hollandaise with a paprika sauce. The eggs go in the water for a couple minutes. They come to a boil to be poached to be put on the English muffin.
And don't discount the lighter fare. Barn 34's fried green tomatoes aren't your average veggies.
Fried green tomatoes topped with pimento cheese, and then she's going to top it with a bacon jam drizzled with a balsamic glaze.
If there's any way to start your day at the beach, it's over a spread starting with those tomatoes.
There's such a beautiful mix of flavor and texture going on here. I mean, you start with the star of it, obviously, which is the fried green tomato. It is so crispy and crunchy, and then on the inside of that, you've got that beautiful, nice, bright acidity from the fried green tomato, which is balanced really nicely by the bacon jam that's on top. It's got just the slightest hint of smokiness to it. All of the little veggies that are in here are super fresh tasting. They're a little crunchy, and it's just a nice, creamy, wonderful way to kind of tie everything together.
Probably more than half of my family is from the Carolinas, so I've had quite a bit of pimento cheese. Now the elephant in the room is, this is very not yellow pimento cheese. Well, this is what happens when you make it fresh in your restaurant every day. This is a slice of the South in my mouth.
And good thing we started light, because the Lobster Benedict will lure you into nothing short of indulgence.
They did not hold back on this lobster. That's kind of an understatement, actually. Like, there's so much lobster on this plate, and the hollandaise is just such a beautiful, creamy texture.
A good hash brown plus hollandaise is a thing I didn't know I needed. That's fantastic. Just a beautiful, nicely poached, slightly runny egg. That's breakfast done right.
But that's not all. We've all heard of breakfast for dinner, and now Barn 34 asks the question, what about dessert for breakfast? Or as Foodie Photog Mike calls this one,
this is a veritable explosion of summer berries.
The angel food cake French toast is nothing to mess around with.
Usually there is some kind of dish on Foodie Friday where I'm like, look at the size of this thing, but look at the size of this thing. It's like basically your own personal angel food cake that's been deep fried, beautifully dressed up with all this sauce and the berries and the whipped cream, and just presented to you. It's like a present almost. The deep fry on the angel food cake, and maybe I'm just thinking this because we're in Ocean City, kind of reminds me of the boardwalk a little bit. It's like funnel cake, but it's not oily like a funnel cake would be. A+, 10 out of 10, 100%. Gotta admit, we shot that last week, and I am still thinking about that angel food cake.
You had no idea. I'm gonna go to sleep thinking about that lobster. I mean, oh my goodness, it looked, so there's obviously a big emphasis on the breakfast food at this place, but that's not all they do.
Right, I've been there for brunch a bunch of times, definitely recommend that, but Barn 34 also does dinner, and from what I've heard, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got to go there, and if you go to Barn 34, be sure to tell them that you saw them on Foodie Friday, and if you have any suggestions for Hannah or Mike, just send it to us at newsroom@47abc.com.